Hello everyone, welcome back to SoggyBottom Homestead. I'm Dawn. We're going to do some canning today. Today it will be ground beef, hot packed. But before we get started, I want to talk to you guys about stove safety. Now I have been doing something that's not been very safe. I have been putting too much weight on the top of my electric stove top. Now, this is a GE stove, and what you do to find out your weight limit on the top of your range is, let me show you. Most of us nowadays have smartphones, okay? So all I did was opened up whatever your search engine is, and I typed in glass top weight for whatever your stove is. Mine is a GE. This says, if you guys can see it, 50 pounds is my stove's weight limit. Now I have been very muchly overdoing that with my canner and then the pots I've been using to put my jars down in, my leads, and all kinds of things. I probably was 10 or 15 pounds over that. So, for today I will be doing my jars in the dishwasher, and I'll be putting my leads in the crock pot that I'm heating the water now for. Now leads, you don't have to heat these leads. I just prefer to do that. Now, on to some more information. This is a Presto. It is I believe it's a 32 quart. Can you look at that box, Mom, and tell me what the quart is of that Presto?
23.
Excuse me. It's a 23 quart Presto. Now, the reason why I mention this is it's the larger version. Now, information to know. The bottom here, this is the only part that's going to set on your burner or whatever part of your top the electric part you're setting it on. Now what you're going to do is the burner you set it on needs to match this disc's size, not this part. This part won't touch. So it needs to set this size, not smaller and not bigger. Okay? It's really important. Now, as far as weight goes, I have went into detail on measuring weights of my canner, the jars, the water it takes inside the canner, the liquid that takes inside the jars, and the meat inside the jars. So, the weights on those as it breaks down. The canner itself is 10 pounds. The meat that goes inside the jars is 14 pounds. The weight of the jars themselves with approximately a cup of water is 1.5 pounds. The water that goes in the canner is approximately 7 pounds. When you add all that up, it's right close to 42 pounds. So I'm getting real close to that 50-pound mark. I still have enough weight room to put a saucepan with my bouillon or your distilled water or whatever it is you need hot, since I am doing a hot pack, to go inside the canner. So that's the deal on the weights, everyone. So that is our glass top electric stove safety. I felt like I needed to go over that with everyone because it's dangerous to put too much weight on the top of your range. I can only imagine what would happen if it would break. So please go over your manual if you have it, find out how much weight your top can take, and be mindful of all these dangers. Now, let's get on to canning. I'll be right back. I'm going to get some things set up and show you what's going on. Something else I needed to show you guys. as far as stove safety, make sure your stove is level. Now, yes, I'm using my cell phone again. My brother found an app called a bubble leveler. Now, all I'm doing is making sure that my stove is level. It is not perfectly level, but it is close. It's in the center. Now, you can use a little bit of work, so I'm going to do that before I get started. But as you guys can see, it's just an app. Just lay it on your stove and see if your stove is as close to this center as possible. The other thing is, I wanted to explain more about the size and the bottom of the pot. See, on my stove, there's rings. There's the larger one. Here's the smaller one. You want to match this bottom of this pot here to the ring size. Like, for instance, I have that size, then that size. So, it fits perfectly on this one. Now I want to turn it on so you guys can see it. Sorry for all the noise. Let's see here. And it'll be the smaller burner for mine. Right, there you go. See? And if I turned on the larger one, it would be too big. Now, in the bottom of the pot fits perfect on that. Here's my crock pot. I'm getting ready, or my slow cooker, getting ready to put my leads and rings in. Here's what I use. Now, I believe on this, it doesn't say that I have to put them in water. But I choose to do that. It says, lids are one time only, wash lids in hot soapy water, rinse well, set aside. It doesn't say they have to be put and stay in water. It's just a personal preference. So I'll put those in, let them stay in there. Now, canner's ready. 3 quarts of water, 2 tablespoons of vinegar. Here's my cooker, my electric cooker. I'm going to do my hamburger meat. Have all of my supplies, and don't forget the snacks while I wait. My distilled water. Now I'm going to do distilled water in some, and better than bouillon in some. Don't forget your vinegar to clean the tops of your jars. This is my water to drink. Now get on to the important part. The ground beef. This is 90%. Now I have a story to tell you guys about this. I went into Kroger and they wanted more than $5 a pound for this. Or ground beef, I should say. We went into Sam's, and at Sam's it is $3. Oh, you guys can see that. That is $3.43 a pound. But 9, almost 10 pounds is $34 for each one of these. I'm going to cook 2.5 of these. I have some other project to use for the other half. That'll be another video. Canning, of course, so you guys will need to stay tuned for that. Don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell so you get that next video. But I'm going to get started browning this meat. It is a hot pack. You can do it cold pack. You can do it raw pack. Some people call it either one. I prefer hot packed. Be right back. This is the first 5 pounds we're going to be cooking. We will just barely get it brown. And then I'll put it in a glass pan and in the oven, as low as I possibly can put the temperature for, just to keep it hot till I get it in the jars and in the canner. Right, we've got to get our supplies ready. I've got it all here. Funnel, get the bubbles out and headspace. My leads and rings out for the meat. our Better Than Bouillon, and for our jars. Let me go get the jar out of the dishwasher. And it's hot. Again, this is hot pack, so it means everything has to be hot. Meat, jar, lids, canner, liquid you're putting in, all of it. You can pack this down quite a bit. This is 90% lean. And the way I have the math figured up in my head, if you have about 10 pounds of 90% lean, you end up with 9 pounds of meat. You only lose about a pound of fat in this. The less percentage of lean meat, the more fat you have. Then you can really, and of course you're going to pack it down some more once you put this liquid in here. Let's see here. Okay. You can always take meat out if you have too much in there. Let's put some liquid in here. Alright, I'm using Better Than Bouillon. In these, I'm going to use some just distilled water. Now, to explain the reason why we're choosing to use some with and some without, it's because of the recipes we use. We like the Better Than Bouillon stuff for taco meat and nachos, and the stuff with distilled water for other things we want to add more flavor to, more seasonings to, like goulash or homemade sloppy joes or something of that nature. The Better Than Bouillon doesn't turn out as well. It's fine, it's okay. We're just going to try it some other way for some of it. You want to get as much all the way down, and I have too much meat in here, guys, so let me take it out. And that's okay. You can always, and I'm making a mess. That's normal too. I'm a messy varmint. Alright. That's my mom over there laughing, folks. She knows it's true. Alright. All of the air bubbles out, much as possible. Check our headspace, and we can put some more liquid in here. Try to cover the top of the meat with liquid. There we go. Of course, I got too much of that too. That figures. Anyway, as you can see, you can get anything just about out. Okay. A little wild on all of it today. Yep. All fixed. Perfect. Now, let's take now we're going to get our vinegar on our paper towel, squeeze it out, and we're going to clean the outside and the top. Do not get vinegar down inside your jar. You do not want to taste vinegar inside your product. You're just trying to get a good seal on the top so your lid seals. Okay? Alright, now let's get our lead and rings. or ring. Now everybody has their own amount, how tight they want this. I put it on, turn it, and then that's it. That's all I do. I'm going to get this in the canner and get the canner filled up, and I'll be right back. Canner's full. 7 32-ounce jars or 7 2-pound jars. We'll get this lid on, get the steam building up for 10 minutes. I wanted to show you guys a couple things real quick. First is this. Now, this has to have a steady stream of steam coming out of this for 10 minutes. Now after this does its steaming, venting for 10 minutes, then we're going to put this on it and then it'll build the pressure up. My area is 10 pounds and then it'll be on for 90 minutes. And again, this needs to steam steadily or vent steadily for 10 minutes before you put the weight on. The canner has its pressure built up to 10 and a half, and that'll happen for 90 minutes, so an hour and a half. And then we'll turn off the heat and let this release naturally and then take the weight off. The 90 minutes is done. Pressure is completely released. Top off. Nothing else is coming out. Now when you undo this, I'm going to undo it. You always lift the lid off so the lid is coming to you, so the steam's going away. Now, there's all the stuff inside. Yummy. Okay, let's take it out. I start from the center, gently, not to squeeze too hard on the lid. There you go. That's just one of them. That's one with the Better Than Bouillon in it. I'm going to get the rest of these out. Be right back. You guys see all the bubbling? People that haven't canned before, that's what it should look like when it comes out of your canner. It should be popping here in just a little while. Now these 5 are the ones that have the Better Than Bouillon in them. These 2 do not. I'm not sure if you guys can see the difference. It's gotten dark here. It's late getting this finished. These are a bit lighter. And that's just because they have the distilled water. I hope everyone liked the video. The jars are beginning to pop, so maybe you guys will hear one while I'm talking. Please don't forget to subscribe, ring the bell, like, and most importantly, comment. Now, I hope that in the beginning of the video, the stove safety was very helpful. Please, again, those people that know how to get a hold of me, you have my email, You also have my phone number. Now, others, my email is on there. Oops, there was one of the cans, or one of the jars, popping. For those of you that have never canned before, that's what it sounds like when it's cooling off and sealing. That's the lead, that center popping down and sealing. That's what happens when the bubbling and it starts to cool off. That's the sound you just heard. For the first time I heard it, it was the most awesome thing. That's another one of those joys of canning. Again, thank you for watching this video. And don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell so you get upcoming videos. We have another type of canning video coming up. I still have the second, part 2, of the folding of ribbon roses that I have been working on. Just life happens, you know. Hey, there's another one of those jars. That's awesome. Alright guys and gals, thank you for watching. God bless and stay safe.